Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Thursday. Glad you're here. Today's Red Mic message, the open door that, well, never opens. I just got through a job search and none of this actually applies to me, but I understand it. I've heard stories like these. Most people think the worst answer they can get is no. It's not, because a no is honest. A no gives you direction. It tells you where you stand. Well, maybe this does apply to me a little bit because you apply for a job online that submit in a prayer, on your computer, and then you wait and wait and wait and you never hear anything at all. It's frustrating. So a no is honest. It gives you direction. It tells you where you stand. And just as importantly, it clears the path so you can go do something else. The worst answer, in my opinion, is, yeah, we should do that. And then nothing. No follow up, no timeline, no next step. Just enough enthusiasm to get your hopes up, keep you from moving on, and just enough signal to make you think something is happening, even if it's not. And I've seen this theme in columns by Justin Wright and Simon Sinek, and even a little bit by Mark Manson. Mark Manson is the very blunt guy. Google him. His book title has language in it that I can't repeat on a family-friendly podcast, but it's a great book. It really is. Not every open door is actually open. Some are unlocked in conversation and it sounds real, it feels real, it looks real for a minute at least. And again, it gets your hopes up, but those doors don't actually open. So you wait, you check in, you give it time, you assume that there's something happening behind the scenes, and you tell yourself, oh, they're just busy, it's probably coming, they're probably waiting for something to happen, I don't want to push too hard. And that's where the trap is, because while you're being patient, you're also being still. This was the Simon Sinek point. You have to keep moving. So you have to realize, and hopefully this happens sooner than later, you're not waiting on an opportunity. You're waiting on a person who's never really going to act. And you've seen that boss or coach, big on promises, light on follow through, always talking about, oh, this is a great opportunity, but never actually creating one. Or the wannabe team captain who always wants the ball. They're always chasing the spotlight. They're focused on their stats, not the scoreboard, and they're nowhere to be found when the work actually gets hard. Once you see this happening, it's like a switch getting flipped in your head, because you stop asking, when is this going to happen? And then you start deciding, what am I going to do instead? Because the people who actually get things done, they don't leave you guessing. They don't leave you hanging. They don't make you wonder if you misunderstood. They don't need reminders to follow through on something they said that they wanted. They move. My current job, I got contacted and they asked me for my resume, and a few days later, bam, there you go. The people who make it happen, they send the email, they make the introduction, they schedule the time, they create your next step. Even if it's small, there's motion. You need to be that way as well, because the motion is the difference. Again, going back to Simon Sinek, real opportunities have momentum, even imperfect momentum, even messy momentum, but something is happening. And once you see the difference between those two things, you can't unsee it. Then the big talk with no action becomes very clear. You recognize the language. We should. Let's circle back. I've been meaning to. None of it means anything unless they're willing to put action behind it. So stop standing in front of doors that might be unlocked, but they're not open. Stop waiting for somebody else to decide your timeline. Stop investing energy in conversations that never convert. I'm not saying don't be friends with those people. Don't continue to have business relationships with them, but just don't count on them. Go out there and make it yourself. Go find your own opportunities. Go make your own opportunities. Do what works. Move toward people who act. Build with the people who follow through. Create your own doors if you have to. Kick down the ones that are in your way. Because in the end, it's not just about access, it's about execution. You can have all the access in the world, but if they're not ready to, get it done, It's just talk. Maybe with no action is just a slow no. Momentum matters more than access. Enthusiasm without follow through is just noise. So pay attention to patterns, not promises, because real opportunities, they're going to create movement, even if it's small movement. When nothing happens, that's your answer. So don't wait at a door that only opens in conversation. Because remember, anybody can talk the talk, but you got to rely on the ones who walk the walk. And that's today's Red Mike message. Hope you found it interesting or helpful. I hope you're able to use some of these things in your own life, your own business, your own relationships, whatever it is. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you so very much. Back in the Red Mike cave as promised. Still trying to figure out what I'm going to do for hashtag Fun Friday tomorrow. So if you've got any ideas, drop me a line. And if not, as always, just remember this: life is short. Drink the bourbon. I'll see you tomorrow.